Hello PSI gamer fans, and welcome back to Rimworld. We are continuing today from where we left off last time, with McTodd and Taesan recovering from injuries related to mechanoids, and Shepard is working on cleaning up from the mech cluster. Shepard will also haul back one component that was dropped by the mechanoid cluster, which puts us one component closer to our goal to construct the multi-analyzer. Later that day, Taesan finishes recovering from his gunshot injury. In the morning, Shepard finds some underground uranium to the north of our base, and Taesan snaps out of his mental breakdown. And while McTodd is recovering from her injuries, Shepard finds another vein of underground steel right next to the original one we were mining, so I don't think we'll be running out of steel anytime soon. McTodd is now fully healed, and she gets up to go play some billiards. And once she's done playing billiards, she goes to cook more food. The next day, Shepard hauls back the dead body of the Scyther, McTodd hauls back the body of the Pikeman, and Taesan turns on the machining table and shreds both of them for some steel. And since we may not get the multi-analyzer constructed anytime soon, I think it might be a good idea to research some lower tech projects while we wait. So we're going to turn on the research bench and we're going to start researching plate armor. In the morning, we have a solar flare, which unfortunately we can't do anything about, and all of our plants will be killed. We can also see that the forced foggy rain from accepting Maddie into our colony is coming to an end, so we should be going back to normal weather now. We will also be constructing a light outside by the ground-penetrating scanner in order to increase work speed. And the following morning, we do not receive much of a break from mechanoids as we are suffering from another mechanoid cluster. It is landing to the north of our base, and just like last time, this mechanoid cluster contains a defoliator. So we will have to deal with it, provided that we want to keep all of our crops. Luckily, for this cluster there is only one turret, and it is a large one, meaning it has an area next to it where it cannot fire. So I will be positioning all three of my colonists inside that area so they can fight the mechanoids without getting lit on fire. Once McTodd is awake and all three colonists have had some breakfast, they are going to go fight the mechanoids. And for this fight, McTodd will be using her steel club instead of the frag grenades. In order to wake up the mechanoids, Shepard and Taesan will start shooting at the pikeman with their guns. They take out the pikeman really quickly, however there is another pikeman and a lancer coming from around the corner, so they will take cover behind the inferno turret. And Taesan and Shepard are easily able to take down the Lancer, and then they can help McTodd take out the Pikeman. And the final task will be to take out the Inferno turret, which will require them to leave the area and risk getting injured, because otherwise it might explode when they destroy it. I have McTodd step into the area where the turret can fire in order to try to dodge the shot, however she ends up getting hit and is caught on fire. Luckily, however, Inferno cannons can only fire every 10 seconds, so Taesan and Shepard are able to step out of the area and shoot at the turret and destroy it. The turret explodes and the mech cluster is defeated, and Taesan and Shepard can take out the defoliator. We can also salvage an unstable power cell from the wreckage of the cluster, which will provide our base with a little bit extra power. We can also see that we have gotten 2 components from this mechanoid cluster, which, when added to the 6 components we have at home, will give us enough components to construct the multi-analyzer. After Taesan installs the unstable power cell, we will also be constructing a small stone wall around it, so it doesn't cause any damage to our base, as unstable power cells have a tendency to explode if someone hits them. Taesan will also sell off some old clothing to some visitors in order to get a quick $89. Unfortunately, we can see that Shepard is not a perfect doctor, as McTodd has gotten an infection in her arm. Luckily, Shepard is a good enough doctor to tend to the infection just fine. And then later that morning, we receive an interesting offer. There is a quest called The Huskies and Lek. Now, avid fans of the series may remember Lek from episode 4. She was the lady who we hosted at our house for a while, and she gave us 10 Glitterworld medicine after she left. She also left with our Pila, as I forgot to make her unequip it before she left. Now, if I recall correctly, I remember Lek being a pretty good character, so I will accept this quest, as I think even if we don't fight the Huskies, we can still just wait them out inside our base. Lek shows up on the map completely naked, however she still has our Pila from the first episode. And if we take a look at Lek's stats, we can see that she actually is pretty good. Her fighting skills are nothing to be proud of, however her cooking ability is higher than McTodd's, which can allow McTodd to spend more time doing plants. She also has a higher social skill than Taesan. And of course, following her is the pack of manhunting huskies. Lek will quickly run to the base and close the door behind her as to not let the huskies in. She will then put on a parka and a pair of pants so she doesn't freeze to death. Also, while this is happening, Shepard finishes construction on the multi-analyzer when I'm not looking. Since most of the huskies have been taken out by our steel traps, Shepard and Taesan are going to try to fight the remaining huskies. And they manage to take out the huskies pretty quickly, however Taesan does receive a couple scratches. And for future encounters I will be giving Lek Taesan's old auto pistol, as it is much better than her Pila. Shepard gives Taesan some medical attention, and Lek does some sewing and butchering before she goes off to bed. For now, she will be sleeping in the room with the bedroll, as we do not have an additional bedroom set up yet. Later that night, one of Taesan's scratch injuries gets an infection in it, so Shepard will have to give him some more medical attention. With some herbal medicine, however, I think he should survive just fine. Then, in the morning, there is an eclipse, so there will not be any sunlight today, and Shepard gets to work on rebuilding all of the spike traps. We also receive a quest called Ragabe's Climate Adjuster, and I think we will be accepting this. If we accept this quest, there will be a site nearby that is lowering our regional temperature, which is guarded by manhunting snow hares. And if we take a look at the rewards, we can get an advanced component as well as 50 silver. The silver is rather negligible, however the advanced component is really useful as we will be needing it to construct a fabrication bench soon. So I think we will be accepting this quest. It is already pretty cold on the ice sheet, and I think making it a little bit colder probably won't hurt us very much. So we accept the quest and receive our rewards. We can also see that McTodd has developed an immunity to her infection, so she should be just fine. And shortly after that, she also fully recovers from all of her injuries, so she can now get up and start helping out again. In the evening, we are notified of a group of thrumbos entering the map. Normally, I would be ignoring them, however, one of these thrumbos has a lot of bad health conditions, making it very slow. So, I will be sending out Shepard, Taesan, and Lek to do a bit of coordinated thrumbo hunting. And before the thrumbo hunt can begin, there is another mechanoid cluster landing on our map. However, this one doesn't have a defoliator or any kind of bad structure that would hurt us over time, so we can safely ignore it for now. The 3 colonists with guns open fire on the thrumbo, and it tries to fight back, however, it does not make it very far. And Lek will drag its body back to the base. Lek crafts herself a simple helmet to wear while Taesan is resting from his infection, and then Taesan eventually gets over his infection and gets up to make some new clothes. McTodd's t-shirt that she is wearing is almost tattered, so Taesan will make her a new shirt out of some human leather. And in the afternoon, we are notified of a toxic fallout that has appeared over the ice sheet. Now, the toxic fallout will not immediately kill everything, however, if we go outside, we will all be slowly poisoned. So, all 4 colonists will have to stay inside for the foreseeable future. Taesan then finishes working on McTodd's t-shirt and gets to work on making a t-shirt for Lek. At this time, Shepard finishes researching plate armor. However, we will not be constructing any plate armor as it is not very protective. We only researched plate armor because it is necessary in order to unlock flak armor. We can also see that winter has begun, so temperatures outside will be getting cold again. In the morning, Taesan then gets to work on shredding some mechanoids from earlier, and McTodd and Shepard, who cannot go outside right now, will work on cleaning up the base. We can also see that the following evening we are having some power generation issues as our wind turbine has broken down and needs repair. However, we cannot repair it because we do not have any components. So to fix this, we will be deconstructing our cooler and using it to repair the wind turbine. We will not be needing our cooler anytime in the near future as it is already extremely cold. So I think we can safely retrieve the components from the cooler for now, as our food does not currently need any refrigeration. And in the evening, Lek will be butchering up the thrumbo that we hunted earlier to get some meat, some thrumbo fur, and a valuable thrumbo horn. The thrumbo horn will be going to McTodd, as she can use it as a melee weapon and it will be more effective than her steel club. Taesan and Shepard will then spend some time making sure that everyone has a dresser and an end table in their bedrooms just to improve everyone's general mood. In the evening, Shepard finishes research on flak armor. Now, flak armor costs components, and we only have one component in our stockpile, so we will not be constructing any flak armor right now. And the next research project that we will be starting will be fabrication, as a fabrication bench will allow us to make our own components. And since the toxic fallout is still going on outside, and we have just about run out of things to do, McTodd is going to build herself an art bench, and she's going to get to work on making some sculptures. McTodd, being our best artist, only has an art skill of 5, so her sculptures probably will not be very good. However, she'll get some good practice, and even bad sculptures can still improve the environment. And after a couple hours of work, you can see that McTodd has finished her first small sculpture. It is only poor quality, so it will only provide 25 beauty points. However, it will improve her bedroom. So that is where the sculpture will be going. McTodd finishes another sculpture. This one is of normal quality, and while Taesan is installing it in his bedroom, a trade ship is passing by. And because Lek has our best social skill, we will now have her call them on the comms console. And as these traders are selling both components and advanced components, we will spend pretty much all of our money for 14 components and 1 advanced component. This will give us enough to build the fabrication bench, as it requires 12 components and 2 advanced components to be constructed. It also gives us a few extra components in order to make some flak armor. We also receive a quest called Rescuing Z, and we find that a prisoner being held by Southwest Rome has managed to steal a radio and call us. She's being held at a camp, and she is being guarded by 2 Outlanders, a mortar, and 5 turrets. Because of this, we will not be rescuing her, as I do not want to travel, especially during a toxic fallout, and even if we were to travel there, there's no guarantee that we would win a fight against such a large number of turrets. We can also see that McTodd has completed another sculpture, however this one is of awful quality, and awful art actually has negative beauty, so we will not be installing this sculpture into anybody's bedroom. The next day, using some of our locally grown cotton, and some steel and components, Taesan is going to get to work at constructing a flak vest at the machining table. McTodd also finishes another poor quality art sculpture, which will go into Lek's bedroom. In the afternoon, there is a group of cargo pods crashing to the north of the base. Inside the cargo pods, there are 43 smoke leaf joints, so Lek will go out and haul those back to the base. We can also see that Taesan has finished crafting his first flak vest, however it is only poor quality, so it is 80% as effective as a normal flak vest. And in the evening, Taesan finishes his other flak vest, and this one is of normal quality, so it should function just fine. McTodd also finishes another sculpture, and this one is actually of good quality, so it will be going into our dining room to make it more impressive. Later on, due to a high mood, Shepard receives an inspiration. He is on a work frenzy, meaning he will work about 80% faster for the next 8 days. And this means that Shepard is going to take over for Taesan on the research bench so that he can fully utilize his inspiration. And so that Taesan actually has something that he can do, we will be moving our deep drill into the dining area so that Taesan can do some drilling from the safety of inside. We won't get any super valuable resources, however we will get stone chunks which can be cut into blocks, and we are rather short on stone blocks right now. We can also see that our wind turbine has broken down again, so Shepard will take a break from his research in order to repair it. We can also see that the following morning, the toxic fallout has finally ended, and so it will be safe for people to go outside again. And the following evening, Shepard is able to complete research on fabrication. In order to make room for a fabrication bench in our base, Shepard will start constructing a small workshop to the south of our stockpile room. And while Shepard is working on this workshop room, we receive a quest called Failing Ship. A shuttle from the Broken Empire is crashing, and they would like to land at our base, and if they do so, we will have to defend them from tribespeople. However, considering our current combat strength, I think we can handle some tribespeople. So I'll accept this quest for honor, and I'll give that honor to Shepard. The shuttle crashes on the other side of the mountain, and we can see the people that we'll need to protect. And here come the tribespeople. There are only 5 of them, and since we also have help from the Imperials, this is a pretty one-sided fight. And our 4 colonists managed to take down all of the tribespeople, with only McTodd receiving a couple of stab wounds. Now that the fight is over, our 4 colonists can return home, as the rescue shuttle will soon be arriving to pick up the Imperials. We also can get 7 components for deconstructing the crashed shuttle, which puts us over the amount we need to construct the fabrication bench. Shepard tends to McTodd's injuries, and the rescue shuttle shows up to pick up the Imperials. They all get on the shuttle, and we have completed the quest successfully. And after completing the quest, we can now see that Shepard has enough honor to rank up his royal title. However, to do this, we will have to call in some bestowers to bestow his new title upon him, and they will not come to our map as long as they have enemies on the map. And currently, they do have enemies on the map, as there is a mechanoid cluster that we have yet to deal with. So, before Shepard can get his royal title, we will have to fight mechanoids. And now that Shepard has finished construction on his workshop, he will now start constructing our new fabrication bench. And while Shepard is doing this, we also receive a quest. However, this is not a good kind of quest. Pirates have set up a base nearby us, which is using a weather controller machine to set our weather to foggy rain. Until we leave our base and go deal with the pirates, it will permanently be foggy rain on the ice sheet. Now, foggy rain isn't too bad, other than it makes you miss your shots more often, so we will be ignoring this for now. However, we should find a solution to dealing with this in the near future. McTodd then finishes recovering from all of her injuries, and then Shepard can finally finish the fabrication bench without any further interruptions. And at the fabrication bench, you can see that we can create components out of steel. So we will start stockpiling steel nearby our fabrication bench for more efficient component production. We then are being greeted by a bulk goods trader on the comms console, so we will have Lek call them to make some kind of a trade deal. And because these traders will buy human leather, Lek will sell off 1,000 units of it, as we have quite a bit, and we will not be using all of it anytime soon. She'll also sell off some old clothing, McTodd's awful art that she produced earlier, as well as our old chess table. Lek will then be purchasing 25 units of the trader's industrial tech medicine, as it is 30% more effective than the herbal medicine that we have in our storage. And after selling off some more leathers, we can get a total of $1,924 from this trade deal. And then Taesan will get to work on crafting the first component at the fabrication bench. And to me, that seems like a good place to end things off for this episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see other videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.